Today we're going over the best base locations in Palworld. I'm going to be grouping these locations in 3 groups. Group 1 will be flat and very easily buildable for your main base. Group 2 will be more for the mining bases, the resource heavy bases that you absolutely need. Group 3 will be overall the best base locations you can get. They will be flat, and yes, they will have resources that you can gather on them. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first base location we have is right here. This is next to the Pin King location on the map right here. Let me zoom out. The coordinates are going to be about 110, -323. What makes this base locations good is it's big, flat, and there's no resources in the circle. So that way your pals cannot get distracted while they're working inside your base. If you put the pal box right here in the middle, your entire base will be nothing but flat area. This will be your main base for your production spot. Now for spot number 2, this is going to be a little bit more broad. It's going to be mainly this whole island. This whole island is extremely flat, but there is one spot on this island that is better than all the other ones, and it's going to be right here. You will see this spot being taken by most people, and the reason this spot is so good, you can have 2 pal boxes right here. If you want to create 1 mega base, right, you can put down 2 pal boxes right here and just have your pals go nuts. Apparently there's this bug in the game where if you're not in render range of your bases, the pals don't like to typically work for you. So having 2 pal boxes right here next to each other, you're obviously in render range, it will help you out. As you can see, it's easily buildable, and it is a very, very good production base. All right, so for the third base location, this spot is rarely talked about. I have not seen this spot on many YouTube videos, which is why I thought it would be good to mention it. The third base location is going to be right here on the map. It's going to be close to Anubis, but right here next to this Mount Floppy Summit. What makes this spot good, it's flat, it's easily buildable, and you're really, really close to the desert, because apparently the desert, they decided not to put a fast travel point in it. So if you do decide to build here, one of the pros that you do have here is all this ore right off to the cliff right here. Now you could just come down here and mine the ore, and this is not particularly a good ore base location, but you do have some ore right here. You can just take a pickaxe and mine it. Now let's get into more of the resource-based locations. All right, so for the first resource location, everyone knows this spot. It's on every YouTube video. Everyone knows it. If you want this base location on a new server, you spawn in and book it to this spot. Everyone wants this spot because it has ore and it has coal. Now right here, you can build your base off to the side. Right now, I'm kind of using this base location as like my production. I'm not really in game yet, so I'm kind of using this for everything, but typically you want to use this base location as your ore farm and your coal farm. But by far, this is the best spot in the entire game for your resources. All right, for the second resource location, this is going to be a quartz base. Quartz base only. There is no ore and there's no coal. You can't really survive up here anyways in the early game without cold resistant armor. But the quartz for this base location is right here. -208, 251. This base location's flat. You can see all the foundations that I've put around it. I can't really fit anymore, so y'all have pals that mine the quartz, obviously, so put like 2 or 3 pals working for the quartz, but then people also put the production base up here to free up a third spot. I wouldn't think it would be bad for a production base right here, but I definitely wouldn't put breeding farms, ranches, stuff like that. This is by far the best quartz base location. All right, so for the third mining base, we're going to be right here on the map. We're going to be right next to the Desolate Church. Cords right here are 65, -407. You have 9 things of ore right here that you can mine up. You put a pal box down, which I don't think you could put the pal box really, really close to the church. You might have to put it this direction. This will be the third best mining spot in Palworld. All right, so now we're getting on to group 3. These are for the base locations that are flat and they have ore. Best of both worlds. So for the first base locations in group 3, not a lot of people are talking about this spot. I have not seen this on many videos, so it's worth putting out there. So right here on the map is where we are. We're right next to the Relaxasaurus Lux. Coords to this base are -260, -366. Now if I fly up, you can see all the ore right here, and it is decently flat. This will be an easy building base location spot. You could put your crops, you could put your breeding farm here. This is by far one of the best base locations in the entire game. Now, not to mention, you are on a cliff, so the raids here, I haven't really tested it out, but it looks like the raids, you won't really get raided that often, and if you do, it's going to be very, very rare. But with all the ore here and how flat it is, I'm really shocked it's not taken right now. For the second spot in group 3, the coordinates are going to be 6, -526. Again, it has a lot of ore right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things of ore onto a flat surface. This base could be really anything that you want it to be. I did build here on the last server. I only got rated like 3 times, and the people that rated me really weren't that good. So the rating isn't horrible. Just like the last base location, they're flat and they got ore on them. This will be probably more of a multi-purpose base kind of. If you put your PAL box right here on the edge, you could build up here, put the base up here, and have all your PALs working right below you. On the servers that I've tried to join that are public, this spot is always taken. It's a good base location. It's got the ore, it's got the flatness, it's easily buildable. Now these are the base locations I have for you. If you want more base locations from me, leave a like on the video, subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next one.